Hey guys, welcome back. Today, this is the first of two videos I will be putting out of the Real Deal James Neal via Pro Mode. And I think throughout both videos, I'm just going to be talking about the draft really, a roundup of what's happened. There wasn't as many trades as we were hoping for. I couldn't believe it. Only one big trade. Obviously, it was really a buyer's market because of the fact that the salary cap coming down. You really had to want the player you were going after. But in the background, you will be seeing the sim of games up to game 14, and then me playing game 15, which is against the Colorado Avalanche, who, that brings us on nicely actually, I didn't realise that was going to happen, to their first overall selection in the draft, which was Nate MacKinnon. The fact they chose MacKinnon wasn't a huge surprise to most people because of the fact they had been talking about selecting him, but it was just whether they were bluffing and were trying to get something for the first overall and maybe move down to second to get Seth Jones. But they've taken MacKinnon to add to that young core of forwards they've got there with the likes of Matt Duchene and Gabriel Landeskog. You would think now that Paul Stastny would be moved, or come, I think it's February when Ryan O'Reilly can actually be moved because of him signing late on in the season. It's a solid pick. He was the second ranked player, but it had gone between him and Jones all year about who was ranked 1 and 2. So there's no problem with the pick for them. It's just they passed up on a local boy who could have been their franchise D man, and it's a bit of a shame, really. I think that they didn't choose Seth Jones, but I'm sure MacKinnon will have a great career there. I would imagine he'll make the team next year. I can't really see them sending him back down to the juniors. If you try and build a line now with him and Landeskog, maybe, I don't know where they fancy Duchesne, whether they fancy him through the middle or not. Um, but they have a good young core now, building from the draft, as we've seen other teams do who've won the cup, the likes of Chicago and Boston and Pittsburgh, and also Detroit as well in recent years. Less so on LA. Their top players were quite a few of them were drafted, the likes of Jonathan Quick, people like that. But the Mike Richards and the Jeff Carters and Simon Gagnets, Dustin Penners weren't drafted by them and were signed by trades. So that about wraps up my thoughts on the first overall pick. Now, the second overall pick was one of the bigger shocks of the night, I would say. Just because of the GM there, Talon, he'd never, I believe in the previous 10 years, he'd never taken a European in the first round. And yet he goes and gets Barkov, the big Finnish centre who's been playing. They've always said with Barkov that he plays above his age group. Um, so he's been playing amongst men when he's a kid, basically. So that does serve him well for the league and maybe making an immediate impact. I'm not sure. They took their time with quite a few of the others, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him not playing the NHL next year. I believe most people had Barkov ranked at number 4 in their scouting list. So it was a jump. It was only a jump of 2. It wasn't a massive jump, but it indicates to me that they wanted Nathan MacKinnon. And we're probably in talks with Colorado about moving up to take Nathan MacKinnon. But it looks as if Colorado just wanted him even more. They wanted to get Nate MacKinnon. So Florida had to settle with another centre in Barkov and pass up on Juan and Seth Jones. Now they could have really done with Seth Jones, I think, in Florida. It would have been a good market for him to go into. And I'm a little bit surprised they chose Barkov, to be honest. I think in a few years' time, the Panthers may actually regret that move of taking Barkov second, and we will see Juan and Seth Jones in particular have very, very good careers. So as I mentioned in my last video, I thought Jonathan Drouin was a fantastic fit for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it just so happens they take him. And I think that would be a fantastic move for him. The undersized forward could be mentored by Martin St. Louis, and him and Steven Stamkos going forward could be a fantastic two-thirds of a line for the Tampa Bay Lightning. There's not much to say really about Jonathan Drouin. He is a fantastic player. I think he's found the right franchise to go into. I don't think he will play next year. I reckon they might try him out for those 10 games that they're allowed to before sending him back down to the Halifax Mooseheads. So yeah, I think Drouin will be a fantastic player for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I look forward to seeing him. Actually, he's got fantastic hands, good shot, and in a couple of years' time, we could be talking about a new superstar in the league. So that brings us on to number 4. And the steal of the night goes to the Nashville Predators for getting Seth Jones, the number-ranked player, at number 4. And what a sick decor they now have in Nashville. Seth Jones and Shea Weber, decent. Roman Josi, Kevin Klein, Ellis, and in goal, Pekka Rinne. I don't think they're going to be conceding many goals. The problem with Nashville has always been that they can't score goals, and they're going to have to sort that out. But in terms of the defensive core, wow. And can you imagine a better player for Seth Jones to play with than Shea Weber, the top D man in the league? It's worked out perfectly for them. And the GM of Nashville couldn't believe his luck. I saw the interview with him and Jones afterwards, and wow, he looked like a cat that had just got the cream. He was so happy with himself. They'd talked about moving up apparently to try and get Jones, but God, they just fell into their lap, didn't it? Nashville got a fantastic player there. So that about wraps up for this video. And next one I'll be talking about more of the draft and the Corey Schneider trade. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I shall see you in the next video.